Welcome to Tri-Cities Today Live. The Tri-Cities only live video streaming internet talk show with your host, Michelle Dolan.
Hello, good afternoon. Today is Thursday, January the 28th. It's about 36 degrees and we're trying to recover from the snowstorm that we had recently. How are you doing today, Tim?
Doing wonderful. Enjoying or getting ready to enjoy this nice warm weather that we're going to be having.
Oh, you think?
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
How you like that? Huh? Pretty fancy?
Yeah, you are pretty fancy. You're getting better and better at this stuff. So, what's been going on with the show? Is it
yeah, it's growing.
Going.
Again, like we are just starting. If you look at the top of the screen next to the eyeball, unfortunately or fortunately, when you look at it, only 4 people are watching, which is us. But we've had 33 people. 33 people have come by to check us out. Now on the show last week, on the replay, we've had over 200 replays. That's where the numbers are going to come in. But I'm thinking about changing the time. I'm not really sure. What do you think about the 7 p.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. shift?
On Thursday?
Yeah.
I think so.
You think it'd be better?
It might be, yeah.
Okay. Well, we may try that in a couple of weeks. Let's see. But as far as the guests are lining up good. We've got a real special one next week with Fred Jacob at the Pink Bride, where I'll be live streaming that. And then we're going to be having someone from the Kingsport Chamber talking about their big chamber dinner next week, too.
Well, what about today's fantastic show? Who do we
Today's show, we got the fabulous magician, Mr. Joseph Young, who is a clean show magician. Everything he does is up top notch and clean. Got a very good reputation. Award-winning Joseph Young.
So there's no trickery going on, right?
No trickery. No trickery. And then after him, we have Dr. Todd Muncie, who is a local chiropractor. And he's going to be talking about different things with his business and with chiropractic.
Awesome. So we're going to have some magic. Today's show is going to be magic in more ways than one, right?
That's right.
Fantastic. So tell us, who are our sponsors today?
Sponsors are coming right up as soon as I can pull it up here.
Okay, great.
Internet talk show with your Dwight Mumpower HVAC Service is a full-service HVAC contractor servicing Northeast Tennessee and Southwest Virginia. Dwight Mumpower HVAC Service is NATE Quality Circle certified, who is a licensed and insured servicer of all makes and models of HVAC equipment. Whether it's inspection, maintenance, repair service, or sales of heating, ventilation, and air conditioning equipment, Dwight Mumpower HVAC Service covers it all. They offer 24-hour service with no overtime charges. Dwight Mumpower HVAC Service, doing whatever it takes to make you comfortable. Call them at 423-398-3580. That's 423-398-3580. Or visit them on the web at dmumpower.com.
Oh, fantastic. Special thank you to our sponsors, Dwight Mudpower Heating and Air, and also Clean Right Commercial Cleaners. Thank you very much. And first up, we have Joseph Young, magician.
There we go.
There we go. So tell us about being a magician.
Well, I've been very blessed to travel around the nation for 19 plus years, performing, entertaining thousands of people each year at companies, churches, family events.
So how did you get started?
When I was 12 years old, every time I talked to a female, she would disappear. So I figured I'd be a great magician one day. No, I'm just joking. As a kid, I always loved magic when I was in first grade, and my mom bought me a magic kit, and that was 1982. That was actually fifth grade later on. And I started performing at local family events, and then by the time I was in high school, I got busy with sports. And after I graduated from college in 1994 from Bluefield College, somebody asked me to do a show, and then it just kept going.
So do you have a business? Do you have a name of a business?
Yes, it's a Joseph Young Entertainment LLC, and my website is josephyoungmagic.com. All my information is on there, my schedule. It's a professional website. I'm not just a hobbyist, I'm a professional entertainer.
Professional entertainer. So what's some of your favorite venues that you do?
Like what type of events? Probably my favorite is doing upward celebrations and family events and churches. I performed all over the country the last few years, from Las Vegas to Pigeon Forge to Houston to Orlando to DC to Boston, you name it, I've probably been there.
Well, tell us a little bit about your performance. How does that usually
What
go?
sets me apart from the others is I do a signature act. I'm known for a Rubik's Cube manipulation act. And you see all these awards. These are some awards I won for that act. I try to not do the same tricks or effects everybody else does. I want to be different, so that's what makes my show unique. But every show involves lots of audience interaction, squeaky clean comedy, and it's just a fun show for everybody, from children to teens to seniors. You name it, I've done it.
What area do you cover?
Well, like I said, I've been all over the United States performing, but most of the shows, probably 85%, are Virginia, Tennessee, Kentucky, North Carolina, South Carolina, Pennsylvania, West Virginia. Them are probably most areas I go to.
Okay, and do you charge? How much do you charge?
That's a loaded question. It's like asking how much do you want to pay to build a house. So it depends on the event. But I'm not the $5 haircut guy, I tell you that.
Okay, what are some of your favorite tricks that you perform?
Well, what I'm known for around the nation, my signature act is my Rubik's Cube manipulation act. That's what I'm known for. And then the other effect that most people think of when they see me perform, they think of my signed $100 bill and a kiwi fruit. So then I borrow a $100 bill from someone, they signed their name on it, and we shred it or burn it, and then it appears inside of a kiwi fruit that's been in a box in front of them the whole time. You have to see it to believe it. It's paid for my house and taking me around the nation.
For people like me that haven't really pulled any magic tricks off, what's your secret? How do you pull off these illusions?
Well, I think of the ideal what I want to do, and then I create it. And like I said, I want to be different. I don't want to be what I call a cover band magician. If you ever go see a band and they play everybody else's music and they're just copying everyone else, I don't want to be a copycat. I want to be Joseph Young.
So how did you come about your?
Oh, that's a good story. In 1999, I went to a magic convention in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. About 200 or 300 magicians all over the East Coast was there, and people performed. Everybody done the same stuff: birds, cards, balls, same things. And it was boring to me after you watch it 500 times. So I wanted to do something different. So I created the Rubik's Cube act because it's different.
and what happens in your
Oh,
Rubik's Cube act?
it's an 8.5 minute manipulation act where Rubik's Cube appears. They change sizes, colors, even turn a Rubik's Cube into a live rabbit. You have
No
to see it in
way.
person to understand.
Okay. Do you have one
No,
there
I
with
don't
you?
have nothing, just
Let
my
me
two
see.
hands. And we thought about doing something here, but it don't do us justice on this screen. So I suggest you go to my website, josephyoungmagic.com. And there's a few videos on there, but you really need to see a live show. My schedule's online.
Okay, great. So do you mostly perform to adults then?
Every show's a family audience. I used to perform in Pigeon Forge for 3 years for Wind and Smoky Mountain Resorts. I've done all the VIP dinners. Then it was all adults, mostly age 40 and up. But most of my shows are family audience. I don't do what I call kid shows. It's for the whole family from age 4 to 104.
Okay, and how long do your shows usually last?
That's up to the client. Most shows are 45 minutes. That's the generic show, what people want for dinner banquets and for a church event. You don't want to go shorter, and you don't want to be up there 90 minutes and walk off stage and thinking, please hurry up and get off stage. 45 minutes is what people want, and that's why I usually get a standing ovation at the end, because I give them enough, but they want more.
Right.
Yes.
Always leave them wanting more. So with Valentine's Day coming up, have you booked any Valentine's Day events
I'm booked.
yet?
I'm booked this weekend in Bluefield and also Whitfield. Bluefield, Virginia, Whitfield, Virginia. February 6th, I'm doing a big Super Bowl event up in Charleston, West Virginia. But Valentine's Day, I'm doing something special. I'm at First Baptist Church, Morristown, Tennessee, at 6 p.m. It is that is family fun night. The church is paid for this. If anybody can come. It's completely free for anybody to come.
Oh, that's fantastic. So what do you do for audience involvement?
Well, most people don't want to sit there at a show and just sit there and watch. They want to see their friends on stage and so forth. And, it's hard to give away, but I bring people on stage and they interact. They're part of the effect. You have to, like I said, you have to come to a show to understand. But I don't want to give away nothing unless you come.
Okay. Do we have a testimonial video, Joseph?
There's a video.
Here at First Baptist Church, and Joseph Young has been here twice now in 6 weeks. He is an unbelievable Christian illusionist, and I'm so happy he's here. I want to encourage you to book him for the next time you need any type of entertainment for your children. He presents the gospel in such an awesome way, using his tricks and illusions, and he just gravitates towards the kids. They love watching him, and please book him for your next show.
That is so neat. So obviously you have a Christian theme going on in your life.
Well, yes, I've been very blessed, and I feel God gave me a talent, and I've always grew up in church ever since I was a baby. So, I just gravitated towards speaking and entertaining at churches and using my talent to tell others about Jesus. And that's really my bread and butter. Speaking at church events.
Okay, so how do you interweave the Christian message with magic?
The way I do that, and that's another thing you got to see in person, is something I came up with. There's different messages to do it, but it's not. Imagine you go see a pastor talk about who Jesus is, why he died on the cross, and how we can become saved. I'm doing the same thing, but I'm doing an illusion with it and using props so everybody can see it. If you come to the Family Fun Night show on February 14th, you will see it.
Okay, so what kind of Christian?
I might just have a cross or a photo or picture of Jesus, and maybe a black handkerchief that represents sin, things like that.
That's very cool. That's very cool. So as you were developing your skills and you were growing as a Christian, how did those start to intertwine?
Well, I'll tell you how it kind of started. Like most magician. You start off doing small birthday parties, and then people start asking me to do Bible schools, then Awanas, and then it grew to I'm going to these churches, and I'm in front of 1,200 to 4,000 church people at a conference or upward celebration. So I don't know if that's how you want the question, what you're asking, but it kind of just gravitated. A church asked me to come do an event, and I needed to put that message in there. So I thought of an effect you could talk about. Maybe like if you cut a rope in two and put the rope back together, that's a magic trick. Well, I will talk about how the devil will cut you down, but with faith in God, he puts you back together.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about the Upward Celebration.
Well, Upward Celebration is a ministry, sports ministry, and they have them at churches in Gate City, and Kingsport, and Johnson City. Unfortunately, none of them really partner with me very often. However, I get the opportunity to go to Upward Celebrations all over the East Coast. That's why I'm going up to Charleston, all over Ohio, South Carolina. But it's a ministry where they have basketball or soccer, and they play 8 weeks of games. And then on that last night, they have a family night, you call it, or Upward Celebration. And they have an entertainer or speaker come in, and that's where I come in to help them meet that need.
Okay, and so that's with
most of them are K through
children
5th grade. Now some churches has it K through 8th grade.
Okay.
It is
I've
an
heard
awesome
lots of good
program.
things
It's
about that
incredible.
program. Okay, and tell us a little bit more again about your
Yes,
website.
my website is
Get in
simple.
touch with
I think it's on that pictures, josephyoungmagic.com. If you go to my website, it has lots of information, has information on my church events, also has on family events. Also, I speak a lot of schools on bullying, drugs and alcohol, and also on reading. And then I'm an inspirational speaker for events like I heard Kingsport has a Chamber of Commerce. I'd be perfect for that. But if they ever call me, so check out the website, and all my information's on there.
Oh, absolutely. And it's great that you came on the show, and we've recorded so people can go back and look at it. But you've got a whole broad audience that you speak to. So just your parting words, what would you like to tell us about Joseph Young Magic?
Me a little bit about person. Like I said, I've done this 19 plus years. It would be 20 years come April, which is crazy. And I've just been so blessed to get to use my talents and travel around the nation. And, if you told me when I was a kid I'd be in front of hundreds of thousands of people a year speaking, I would say no way, because I was kind of a shy kid. But being an entertainer and using magic has really blessed my life.
Very good. And it's a real good testimony to hear you talk about your faith and to intertwine that with your passion, what you love to do, and how you can, touch so many people by that. Once again, Joseph Young, he's a magician. He does lots of shows. Again, give us a rundown of all the different shows that you do, or the possibilities. Where would you be?
I'll fit in for anybody who has a need. They're planning maybe a Bible school, a Awana event, a family event, a community outreach. They're looking for something for a school, a fundraiser, or just planning a party. You name it, I've done it. You look at my website, all the information is there. It explains every type of show. And by the way, every show is not the same. Every show is customized for your event. If you're doing a church dinner for your senior adults, that show is much different than a birthday party for a 7-year-old kid. It's totally different shows.
Absolutely. Well, that's great. We hope that you get a lot of hits from this show, and encourage you to come back and talk about some of the different things that you're doing, and buy some spots, whatever we can do to help get your word out.
Thank you, Michelle. Next time I come back, I'll have a better camera, and maybe we can set up and do a little magic trick over online. We've set that up. It's just kind of small to see here. I can try to show you one thing really fast if you want to. I don't know if you can see it very well because this is a small camera, a really bad angle, but you can see a rubber band. There's another rubber band. And I'm going to try to keep my fingers out of the way. You see the rubber bands, how they stretch? They can't go through each other. Can't go through your thumb.
Yeah.
Can't go through your finger. Can't go through that thumb, that finger. Solid, 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 solid. But watch the rubber band. I'm going to hold it so you can see it. Watch it melt right through each other.
Woo! Yeah.
You got to see it in person to really appreciate it. But that's a little taste of close-up magic.
Applause.
No, thank you. But if you want to see a really good show and you're free February 14th, it's only in Morristown, a little bit down the road. It's completely free. Come to it. It's going to be a great show.
Fantastic. And everybody's always looking for ideas of something different to do. And, that you would be perfect for people that.
Yes, and I wish one thing the locals in the Tri-Cities would take advantage of me being this close. Unfortunately, they don't. That's why I travel 5 and 6, 7, 8 hours away all the time.
Well, you never know. The word's getting out about you, so they may be beating a path to your door.
Thanks for hosting me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Tim. Are you on, Tim? He's gone radio silent on us. Okay, our next guest. Hello. Todd.
Hello, Michelle.
Hello, Mr. Muncie. How are you?
I'm well. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but we just have a picture of you. We don't see your mouth moving or anything.
It doesn't move. I do mime work.
Okay, so we've gone from a magician to a mime, which is really not too far off from what you do. You do adjustments. So tell us a little bit about your chiropractic practice.
All right. I have Muncie Family Chiropractic. One of the many chiropractic offices here in Bristol, and I've been a chiropractor here for 15 years. And we take care of people from birth until the grave, from day one until the last day of their life.
Okay, and how can you help people out with their health?
How can I help people out with their health? Well, first I got to explain what chiropractic really does, because most people don't understand. So, we've got to look at health from a different point of view today. Health doesn't come from outside in, it comes from the inside out. It's our body healing itself. Most of the time, ill health is due to interference in the system. Okay, and the system is the body itself. You have a brain and you have a nerve system, and you have all the organs and everything attached to that. The brain, think of it as your master control center, and it sends out signals to all those organ cells and tissues and teaches it how to do its job, and tells it how to do its job over time. And the nerve pathway, or the nerve system, is the pathway for information getting out to all those signals. And what chiropractic does is we look for interferences in that pathway that don't allow the brain to communicate with the body, or the body to communicate with the brain correctly, causing a dysfunction, and we remove that dysfunction. That dysfunction is called a subluxation. And that's a really big word that nobody remembers when we teach it.
Say it again.
But it literally breaks down to a bone misplaced, putting pressure on the nerve system.
Yes.
Causing interference in the communication pathway between the brain and the body. And that's what we get rid of.
Okay, and how do you do that?
Well, we do specific adjustments to the vertebra, on the patient, and move the vertebra into the position that it's supposed to be in its normal state. Light, gentle, specific, the way it's supposed to be.
Okay, so why do people usually come to you?
Well, people come to us for a variety of reasons. We have parents bring their children in for ear infections. We have people come in for upper respiratory problems, for digestive issues, things of that nature. Things that, most people wouldn't associate with a chiropractor. We get a lot of back pain, a lot of neck pain, and a lot of Did it come up?
Okay, so people come in to see you with different aches and ailments, how do you go about diagnosing?
Well, we're trained to diagnose, simply like your medical doctor does. We go through down the list of things that you tell us for your first personal history first. Then we go through your health history. And then we go through what we find in our orthopedics test, neurological test, and things of that nature to come up with the total conclusion of what's going on. We also utilize x-rays, MRIs, and things of that nature to get an in-depth study of what's going on with you. From that point, we take and we design a healthcare plan that is specifically designed for just you. Nothing we do in our office is identical for you as it is for another patient. So each person that comes in is an individual.
Okay, fantastic. So when you come in and you diagnose someone that has a specific physical ailment, can you trace that back to a certain thought or a certain action? Or
well, that's exactly what we do as chiropractors. We try to trace it back to its original source. We want to go back to what caused the problem. A lot of times we find in healthcare today is that we're treating symptoms. Are we there?
yes, and I love what you're saying there. And you were talking about treating the symptoms,
Right.
the whole person, and how that comes into play.
All right. Well, the modern healthcare is spent its time treating symptoms and following symptoms. What chiropractic does is try to treat the whole person and look for the cause of the symptom. Not the cause may be the misalignment of the vertebra. The cause may be, an emotional struggle, health, or something outside of that. We tend to look inside to try to translate it back to the cause. The human body, like we said earlier, is designed to heal itself. It's a perfect healing machine. It's designed to adapt and overcome to any environment. And what we do is look for an interference in that environment and say, okay, this is where the problem comes from. Symptoms can be caused by anything. You can have symptoms of a common cold that are a sign of cancer as well. So if we spend our life basing our health on our symptoms, then we never get down to the true cause of what's really going on. If the brain tells the heart,
So true.
if the brain's telling the heart how to function, and there's an interference in that pathway, and the brain can't get its full signal down to the heart to tell it to function at 100% of the time, that heart doesn't function at 100%. Now, if you come to my office and you're on the left side of that tree that I showed you earlier, when do you think is the right time to start taking care of yourself?
Absolutely right now.
Do you want to wait 50 years when you're in a nursing home in a wheelchair, or do you want to start taking care of yourself now?
Right now.
And the question is, how do you want your kids to live? Because think about their empire number. Do you want to start taking care of them now, or wait until they're 20, 30, 40, 50 and suffering from the same things that we suffer from? And I say we because I became a chiropractor because I broke my neck and back in service.
Oh, wow.
So, go ahead.
How did your accident happen?
I was in the motor pool. I don't have a glorious story. So I was in the motor pool and a tire exploded. It had way too much air in it. And the rim flew out, hit me under the chin and broke my neck and flipped me. And I landed on my chest and broke my back.
Wow. That's not an easy way to find your calling. And so,
Wait, sometimes God has to wake you up the hard way.
Absolutely. Don't I know that? So how did that lead in to this, what you're teaching about, the empire?
Okay. Well, the empire number is the number you utilize and look at and go, okay, you know what? I'm living this lifestyle right now. If I continue to live this lifestyle for the next 5, 6, 7 years, where am I going to be? Okay. So you take that empire number and you go, okay, I'm 35 years old and I'm hurting all the time. I'm not feeling good. I'm getting sick every year. It's always the constant, I can count on it 5 times a year. I'm going to be miserable with sinus infections, things like that. So you look at that and you go, 5 years from now, how am I going to be if I don't change my habits now? If I don't start looking for what's causing all these problems and fix it now?
How do you help people find what the problem is?
Well, like I said, we go through their history and we look at them and then we check them for subluxations. If they don't have a subluxation or a misaligned vertebra that's interfering with their nerve system, then it's not anything that I can work with. But what we find is about 90% of the population will have something, going on in their spine, some type of interference that's causing them to have a problem. And we correct that interference and help them correct their problems. Now, one of the questions I get asked all the time is it safe for babies and children? And it's absolutely safe for children. I think he's got up there now, he's got the System of Science of Chiropractic. I don't know if he's got the Children, Family, and Chiropractic Checkups up there. Do you have that one, Tim? He may have it up there. We might get it up there. But, there it is right there. There's some research on there by the Journal of Science and Healing. I'll have to read it. I've got it here in front of me. It says that they studied 577 children under the age of 18 receiving chiropractic care. The study showed that parents reported a high rate of improvement in their children with health issues. Most common symptoms of muscular conditions, ear, nose, throat, respiratory, and digestive issues were all corrected. They also report better sleeping patterns, improved behavior, and strong immune systems while under chiropractic care. And what that comes down to is that by adjusting the spine, we're helping improve their immune system and their overall well-being, even in children at the day of birth. Because when they come out of the womb, they've been balled up and curled up in the fetal position for quite some time. And what we do is check them. Not always do they need to be adjusted at birth, but we check them. And if they do, we start the correction then so that they don't suffer from the long-term problems that we have for the rest of their lives. Does that make sense?
That makes absolute sense. And so when you get one person adjusted and feeling healthy, does that have a ripple effect on the whole family?
It does. Well, some time ago, we had a young lady come to our office that suffered from migraines for 20 years, every day, migraines for 20 years. And they wouldn't go away. She'd given up hope, and we talked to her about it several times. And as we know, most people decide to use chiropractic 2 years after they first thought about it. And we started working with her, and the migraines went away really, really soon. Well, the emotional side of that was that her family was always having to not do things, or when she did do things with them, she didn't feel like doing things with them. So it kind of slowed everything down and made things tough for the family. And by relieving those migraines, we actually gave her a better quality of life with her family and more time to enjoy them, like when they go on vacations and things like that. Instead of suffering from a headache, she's able to be mom and have a great time with her kids.
Absolutely. So for anyone that's out there maybe suffering some issues that may be thinking about coming to see you, what would you say to them?
I would say to them, don't wait. Try to get in to see a chiropractor today. Preferably, I would really like to have people come in here, but there's many chiropractors throughout this town, and all of us are really good at what we do. But I would love to have them come in, have a nerve system checkup if they've never had one. It's important to have it done because it's safe, effective, and it doesn't require you taking medications. It doesn't require you getting shots. It doesn't require you doing any of that. It is healthcare provided a different way.
Okay, and tell us a little bit more about that 100-year plan again.
Okay. Well, the 100-year plan was written by a chiropractor named Dr. Eric Plasker. He's a world-renowned speaker. He goes across the country doing talks. I actually had him here in Bristol some time ago. He wrote the 100-year lifestyle because, like I said, he realized that people were growing older, but they weren't changing their lifestyle. They weren't doing things that helped them to heal. He realized that people were amassing a whole bunch of money and wealth when they were young just to watch it get spent on the nursing home when they got older. He also realized that there were people out here that were 95 years old water skiing. And he knew that something had to be done. So he wrote a book called The 100-Year Lifestyle. And he developed a team of chiropractors across the country that work within that philosophy to help people get well. Not only get well from just, the spinal subluxation and their health problems, but their emotional problems, things like that. It's kind of a guidebook to good health overall. And in the book, he has strategies for, wealth building. He has strategies for, your spiritual life. He has strategies for, just becoming who you are and the best you can be. We don't want people creating wealth at the price of their health. We want them to enjoy life every day. We want them to have expressed the most life they can, an abundant life that their creator gave them. God blessed you with this wonderful body that he wanted you to keep healthy. And what we want to do is, as chiropractors and as 100-year lifestyle doctors, is remove that interference in you being healthy.
And do you find a correlation between people who are toxic emotionally and do they have issues with their health in combination to that? And how do they affect people that are around them?
Well, absolutely. People that are toxic, mentally and emotionally, they drag down the spirit of everyone around them. Each day, if someone has those types of issues, like for doctors, we see it every day. Medical doctors, chiropractors, dentists, things like that. We see it every day, and we're around those people every day, and we have to deal with those emotions. But a person who is always gloomy, always, not enjoying life, the world's coming to an end, really drags others down and takes the fun and spirit out of their life. And when people are like that, we have to understand that there's probably a neurological connection going on somewhere between their brain and the rest of their body that needs to be addressed so that they can function better. And, by just getting something as simple as the 100-Year Lifestyle book, they can start reading that to help encourage them and take them on a new life path.
Okay, well, there's a ton of information that you're presenting us with, and do you do any kind of teaching classes in your practice?
Oh, absolutely. We like to do what's called our new patient orientation class, where I go over with them, some of the things we went over today, like symptomatology, and things of that nature. We talk about the World Health Organization also said that what health truly is. When we think of health around here, we think of health as absence of symptoms, but the World Health Organization and Dorland's Medical Dictionary defines it as the body functioning at 100% of the time, 100% correctly. So they define it as a definition of function and not lack of symptoms, because symptoms can tell you anything. Symptoms can tell you your foot's getting real hot on a campfire coal so that you move it. It can also tell you that the stove's hot, get away. It can tell you that you have a disease, but it can't tell you what the disease is. So, based on it, we teach people that your health is based on function, how you function. When all tissues and organs in your body are functioning at 100%, you're functioning at 100%. But if you have interference in that pathway that communicates and tells it how to function at 100%, it cannot function at 100%. Your spine and nerve system are your body's IT system. And it needs to be an open communication pathway all the time, just like a relationship with a friend or anything else. You have to have open communication pathways, or the relationship will never work.
So if someone's functioning at maybe 85, 90%, and they feel pretty good, but they feel like there's maybe a little bit of room for improvement, what would you say to them?
Well, I would say, let's look and see, number one, do you have any neurological interference in your body? Is there something that I can address to help you with that? And we would do an exam on them and check and see if they have what we talked about earlier, the subluxation. If they have that, then we would design a plan to correct it. Now, somebody comes in and says, I only feel 80% bad. Well, what are you going to do? Wait, or 80% good? I only feel 20% bad. What are you going to do? Wait till it is 80% bad? Or do you want to go ahead and address it now? I don't like watching people suffer. That's the one thing that I'm very passionate about, because when I was hurt, no one would listen. The only answer that they had was, you need a Motrin, muscle relaxer, or some kind of prescription narcotic. And I just didn't think that was the best plan. So I looked for something else. And it took me a while to figure out what chiropractic was all about. But once I did, I became one so that I could help others.
Absolutely. And I've seen in my own family, it was almost a virtue to be tough and to take a lot of pain. But really what I've found out is if you let it go too long, it gets out ahead of you. And once it gets out ahead of you, it's really hard to get control of it.
That is correct. Once everything starts to spiral out of control, you have to put the brakes on somewhere. And the longer you take to put the brakes on, the longer it takes to fix it.
Great. So where's your office at? How can people get in touch?
Well, they can go to my website, which is MunseyFamilyChiropractic.com, and they can go to my Facebook, and that's the same thing, Muncie Family Chiropractic. We're at 300 Moore Street in Bristol, Virginia. The old Mosby building is what most people recognize it as. It used to be a dentist office at one time. And we're right there. We're accepting new patients anytime. We're here to serve the community. My goal in this community is to get everyone in this community under chiropractic care, either with me or with someone else, so that we can turn it around. Michelle, I don't know if you know this or not, but we are number one in the United States right now for prescription narcotic drug abuse.
Unfortunately, that is the sad truth, and it's very devastating.
And I feel in my heart, and this is coming, I know you didn't expect me to throw this one out here today, but I feel in my heart that if they would let chiropractors lead the way on getting these people away from pain medications, because one of the greatest side effects we have is the pain goes away. You know, when you see the commercials for the drugs and it has all the side effects down at the bottom, you know, when you see the side effects of chiropractic, good health and no pain, that's kind of a wonderful thing to have. And if they'd let us lead the way and let us work with these patients, I think they would find that we would have a bigger population of healthy people and less drug abuse in this area.
Absolutely. Treatment goal, pain-free.
Pain-free and optimal health. That's what we want to look at, optimal health.
And how is insurance covered?
Well, insurance coverage differs throughout. Some insurances cover it, some don't. And we have this conversation a lot of times with patients, and we have, you know, in our office, we have care plans designed for the patient who doesn't have insurance or who doesn't want to use their insurance. Now, I understand that when you're contracted with an insurance as a physician, you have to accept the insurance they have. And but we have policies in place, and we have programs in place to help those that insurance doesn't cover anything. So, you know, you have some that do, again, some that don't, but we're prepared for both sides of that issue.
And what I hear in that you're saying is that it's possible for people to take control over their own health and that they can be responsible for being healthy. Is that
Absolutely.
correct?
I was going to get to that, and I'm glad you threw that out there, because you are responsible for your health. It seems like I don't understand today that people say, well, I can't do this without that, and I can't do. Yes, you are in charge of your health. It's up to you. Well, my insurance company said I can't go there because they're not going to pay for it. If you wait on your insurance company to pay for something, then you're going to be waiting a long time and getting sicker and sicker and sicker. The guidelines in Medicare, and I'm not going to quote it directly because I cannot, but they have a guideline in Medicare itself that states that they will not pay for anything that endeavors to treat, get well, or prevent disease. And most insurance companies follow that policy. And if your insurance company's not here to help you get well, what are they here to do?
Now say that again. Did I hear you right?
Yes, Medicare, in one of their policies, I have it up front at my front desk. I don't have it with me right now. Buried in their policy handbook, it states that they will not pay for anything that endeavors to treat or prevent or help a patient maintain wellness. And most insurance companies follow that same program. Not all, but a lot do.
Yeah, set up to promote being sick.
They do not want you promoting wellness. And it's something that we've dealt with for many, many years, because chiropractic is truly a healthcare type facility.
And that's what everyone should
That's right.
strive to reach.
Right. We want you to be healthy
more
and live a wellness attitude.
Something else or insurance or anything like that. Take control over your own life and destiny and get yourself healthy with chiropractic.
Absolutely. It is all about controlling your own lifestyle.
That's fantastic. So any parting words as we close up here?
Well, I would like to thank you guys for having me on, and I'd be glad to come back many times and talk about different issues, because there's a lot that we have to offer. We, at Muncie Family Chiropractic, we like to get out there and educate the population. We want to let people know what it is we do, and we want people to understand that they have the right to live healthy. They don't have to spend the rest of their life sick and miserable. They don't have to spend the rest of their life taking a pill to cover up symptoms of a greater problem. We just want them to know that let us check you, remove the interference, and help you live the best 100 you can.
Great. Do you have any upcoming teaching sessions scheduled?
Yeah, we on February we have a seminar that we're going to be doing with a financial planner. That's called, I believe the name is going to be Mind, Body, and Wealth.
Oh, fantastic. You'll have to come back on and tell us all about that. There's so many different things that you could cover, but I like your message. Earlier we had Joseph Young, the magician, who was able to intertwine his spiritual life with his passion and to put forth a message. We have Dr. Todd Muncie, who suffered horrible accident, and out of that you've turned that into health and wellness and teaching people how to take care of themselves and that it is within their control to be healthy, that it's a choice basically. So it was really great to hear you, and you'll have to come back on soon.
I'll be glad to.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank
Muncie.
you. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Tim, do we have more information?
Well, I think I have a little commercial for Mr. Muncie if he'll stay and watch. Hold on just 1 second. And there we go. And I think we're going to have Dr. Muncie on at least once a month. He has agreed to come on once a month, so we are fortunate to have him with us on our show.
Can you graph that hair that I have that picture on me?
I think you were going to say something about that.
Well, like Dr. Muncie said, unfortunately, we do have a lot of issues in the area, and I think spreading the good news and education is definitely the key for that. So we really appreciate the message that you're giving to the community, Dr. Muncie.
Thank you. You guys have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you, Todd.
Tim,
next week, I think I'm going to go ahead and move the show next week to the 7 to 8 o'clock spot. And next week we'll have Fred Jacob with the Pink Bridal Show. And then we're going to have a representative from the Kingsport Chamber talking about the big chamber dinner. And let me see if I can pull up my slide here. 1 second. Again, we still are would love to have some nonprofits at least come and visit the show, and we'll be glad to give you a plug. One second here. Oh, and I think I lost the feed there for just a second. I got lost in the confusion or something. There we go. That's the Pink Bride Show that I am going to be live streaming along with the beautiful Whitney Carr from Good Day Tri-Cities. We're going to be live streaming there for a couple hours, and we hope everybody tunes in for that. That's going to be on my live stream account, and I'll send information out on that on Facebook and through Twitter. I see Sandy's joined us. Sandy, did you get my Twitter message this morning? Is that how you found out about the show? Just type in the box. Okay, that's how I'm trying to get the word out, is through Twitter now. Okay, great. Well, that's all I got, Miss Shell.
Okay, so next week we're going to be going live Thursday.
Yes, 7 to 8 o'clock, and I will get that word out probably starting today. Yeah.
Great. Well, thanks so much, Tri-Cities. And can we have a word from our sponsor?
If I can pull it up here.
Off?
Hold on. All right.
Dwight Mumpower HVAC Service is a full-service HVAC contractor servicing Northeast Tennessee and Southwest Virginia. Dwight Mumpower HVAC Service is NATE Quality Circle certified, who is a licensed and insured servicer of all makes and models of HVAC equipment. Whether it's inspection, maintenance, repair service, or sales of heating, ventilation, and air conditioning equipment, Dwight Mumpower HVAC Service covers it all. They offer 24-hour service with no overtime charges. Dwight Mumpower HVAC Service, doing whatever it takes to make you comfortable. Call them at 423-398-3580. That's 423-398-3580. Or visit them on the web at dmumpower.com.
See you next week.